Hey girls, today we're going to be making fake stained glass window decorations. First up, materials. I will have printed out a lot of different patterns. There are two types of patterns. There are the actual patterns, which are outlines of designs, and then there's stained glass works that I completely ripped off the internet because I like the designs, and you'll be tracing over those. You can kind of see where they have the different colors on them. One of the first things we'll need is a piece of glass out of just like a picture frame or something. We'll want to make sure to give this a good clean on both sides. Please try not to snap the glass. Piece of glass is our paint. These are specially made paint. I'm pretty sure it's just fucking Mod Podge and like paint color. But yeah, two little squeeze bottles. You just squeeze it directly to layer lines and then fill in the area. So a couple different kinds here. First, they're called leading. On actual stained glass, this is like the flux, the like metal stuff they put in between the lines that like melds the pieces of glasses together. So this little thicker paint, this makes the lines up. They have a different color label here. This is the black one. Otherwise, I have silver, bronze, gold, and then black. The other kind of paint is just the color paints which you use to fill in the areas. There is a black one of these, so try not to get them mixed up. Otherwise, white in a little bottle. And then I have two big jugs of this clear. This will dry transparent, just like Elmer's glue does. We have masking tape to adhere the patterns to your glass. The other things we'll have a couple tiny little pins. When you are putting the paint down, sometimes air bubbles form, and those will dry into like really thin spots, which can cause them to tear. They also just don't look the best. So yeah, we'll poke those air holes out and then kind of even out, level out the area. And then the last thing we'll have is a fan. Just makes things dry faster, that's all. Alright, demonstration time.
Rest in peace, my granny, she got hit by a bazooka. Kaboom, kablow, kaboom. Rest in peace, my granny, she got hit by a bazooka. Yeah, I think about it every time I hit the hook.
You'll have your piece of glass that you clean thoroughly, if possible. I was able to find this piece of textured glass at a thrift store, and it dries into a really cool, texture for the glass pieces. If any of you are able to procure that, I would say go for it. Otherwise, we're going to do this little pattern today. So all I'm going to do is make sure it's fully in frame. Take two pieces of masking tape, and then just secure it so it lays flat. Oh my god. Flat. Next, we'll pick out our leading color here. I'm just going to use the black. I'm not being sponsored by this, by the way, just so you guys know. Gallery Glass is not paying me for this. And then, this is where having don't judge my work area. This is my work area, not yours. Move anything that could touch the paint and smear it a lot of times out of the way. Move it out of the way right now. Right fucking now, actually. This is going to really suck if you're halfway into your project and then god damn it, and your bracelet smears it from corner to fucking corner. Ask me how I know. Okay. I keep the bottles stored upside down so that the paint comes out easier. I ask that when you cap it on, make sure the tip goes in the center and that this kind of clicks on. And yeah, keep them face down. It makes them a lot easier to kind of use. Having a steady hand is going to be very helpful here. I'm just going to go through, follow the lines, piece to piece. If you see any areas that are a little thinner, you can go back over them. Otherwise, I'm just going to start tracing. And as I go through here, I'm not going to be worried if things are a little off. But I am going to generally try to work from one side to another. You don't want to fill out all the outlines and then go for the stuff on the inside. This just makes it a little easier. I'm squeezing with one hand and then using my left hand just to direct where I'm moving to. I found that this gets very consistent when I work. Otherwise, I'm going to shut the fuck up now so I can actually just do this. I have a doctor's appointment in like 20 minutes. I don't know why I started doing this now.
Then I heard a boom and it sounded like a missile. Who that is? What that was? Oh, that granny.
Take more time to do that than I did. That was very bad. That was way too fast. You can see where I have little sections that go past the line, little like blobs. Otherwise, the last step you want to do here is you want to go through and make sure everything connects. You can see on this very corner one, that doesn't, you can't fucking see it. I can see it though. So I want to make sure everything fully connects and there's no open spaces. Otherwise, say you didn't listen to me and something dried across and you made a mess and I need to clean it up. When it's just the line stuff like this, pretty easy. Just, yeah. We're gonna fucking wipe that away and you're just gonna redo it.
What the fuck they hit her with? What the fuck they hit her with?
Whatever is on there is going to be on there when it dries. So we just want to clean it up.
Every time I close my eyes, I'm drawing plays about that blitz. Every time I close my eyes, I'm thinking about how they did you quit. Granny, I'm sorry, but I might have to go ahead and forgive him and forget. I don't know what you want me to do.
Now that the outline is done, we're going to go and put this under the fan for about 15 to 20 minutes.
You're gonna slide, you're gonna lose your crew.
We'll have this come back and there will be a bit of a shell, enough so that when you touch it, it shouldn't smear or transfer at all. You don't want to start putting color on it when it's like this because you want to get through to all of the edge lines. And if you're doing this and filling it in, you're gonna mix the paint. You're gonna mix the fucking paint, and it's not gonna look as nice. Point blank, you can do this. This is your project. do whatever you want to fucking do. I'm just letting you know it's gonna look kind of like shit.
Think about you. If you was out, nigga, what would you do? Rest in peace, my granny, she got hit by a bazooka.
Alright, now that this has had more than 15 minutes to sit, but what we want here is something nice and sturdy. You can see it's still drying under the paint, but it's enough so that if you bump into these, it's not going to smear all over. See that? See it? See it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, once this is nice and dried, we can start picking out our colors and beginning to fill in the area. So little cherries, I'm going to take the red here, and see how the black is in there from when I did that thing earlier? But what we're going to do is outline the shape. We want to make sure we get all of these little edges on where it's going to adhere to the outline. If there's any gaps here, when you're peeling it off, those aren't going to be connected, so there's going to be a hole in there that kind of tears as you try to pull it off. So you really want to make sure you kind of fill everything in. Once it's outlined, I'm going to squeeze and do this little swirl pattern. It just gives it kind of a more interesting texture when it dries.
Every time I hit the hookah, kaboom, kablow, kaboom.
What I noticed here as I was going through is there's a couple little air bubbles that form, so I'm just going to poke those quick. And then even out those areas. If you keep the air bubbles, there will be kind of like thinner spots around here, which can tear as you pull it off. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and fill the rest of this in. Alright, now that I have this all the way filled in, I'm going to take another pass here at all of the little bubbles. Alright, now that we have this all painted, we're going to double check that we didn't miss any spots. So first is, if you kept the backing on the back, you'll just want to move it around, checking these edges to see if you can see anywhere that white is coming through. So give it a little look-see. And then, when we take this off, do we see anywhere, any gaps that are coming through? I do not see any. And then the last thing that helps me find any, we got our nice bright light up here. We are just going to use, oh my god, that is a bad angle to fucking show it at, one sec. Yeah, using our hand to find any gaps. What I am seeing is right there is a gap. I can see light coming through there. Oh my god, there's a fucking lot. No, it's just a light bouncing off of it. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, I see the one gap there. I see another little one here. Little one here. See what I'm talking about though? Right there. Honestly, usually I do the clear last, and then anything that has a little hole in it, I just fucking cover it with the clear. It's gonna dry clear. You're not gonna fucking see it. You didn't see it when you're putting the paint on it. You're not gonna see it when it's fucking dried. Yeah, it's good to do this at multiple angles. See, there's a little spot right there too. All right, I would say that is good. Now that we have our fully painted little project here, we can flip it around to get an idea of what the dry version is going to look like. You can see the spot where we kind of painted it while it was still dry. Online, this kind of looks like ass. You really want to make sure you take time on those outlines. But yeah, this is going to go back under the fan. Otherwise, here are examples of projects that have been drying for a couple hours. You can see where it's going transparent, where there's still bits that aren't quite dry. These should take about 24 hours before you peel them off. Honestly, if it looks fine, it's probably fine.